Hey everyone, so I want to do a quick video on a CFExpress card that I just recently picked up from Amazon. So I purchased this before actually doing a lot of research on what the card's about, but I figured I'd go ahead and do this video. So I purchased June 5th, which is fairly recently, about 5 days ago, from Amazon. And the reason I bought it is $189 plus 20% off. It ends up being $151 for CFExpress Type-A. If you've been in the market for one of these cards, you know that's extremely affordable. I guess I'll say it that way. Now, from what I understand, the reason it's that way is because it's actually not approved by the CF Express, whatever organization. So if you look at it, CFA Association, right? So I just found this. I searched the internet about this Airusan card. It says basically it's not approved by CFA. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons why it's the price that it is at. It's certainly probably about $100 cheaper than anything else you could pick up for this size. But I figure I'd go ahead and do a review, not necessarily a review, but just a speed test on it. And I'll be using this card over the next month or so as we go on vacation. Certainly at risk of potentially losing some data if I'm capturing on here. And if I have that experience, I probably would just throw it in the trash essentially. But if it lasts and it does okay, then I think I'll keep using it. In any case, I picked one of these up, and not having CF Express uh, readers before, I had to also pick up a reader, and I decided to go ahead and buy one of these pro grade readers. Now, this is actually a Type A, USB 4.0 reader, so very high speed. You can see here up to 40 gigabits per second of speed on USB 4. So I think on a Mac, I should be able to, I believe on a new Mac, it's USB 4 or Firewire, I think. No, I'm not for sure on that, but so I just figured I'd pick up one of these up. I did get, I think, a 15% discount on this with the first time purchase. Well, I ultimately wanted to buy essentially the CF Express from ProGrade. I know these are high quality, but as you can see, sold out at 240 gigs. Sold out for twin packs at 240 gigs. So um, it's one of those situations where this is probably the one I would purchase if I were to buy a legit one. But since these were really affordable, I decided to pick these up and just try them out. So what I'm going to do now is run a speed test for you and show you the result of that. Like I say, hope you find this useful. I'm not recommending this by any means. I'm just showing you my speed test on this so you can get an idea of if these things are any good in terms of speed. There's a whole other question of reliability, etc. Right? So keep that in mind. If you're going to use this for any kind of professional work, you may want to not take the chance, if you will. I'm going to do the speed test now. And so typically I use my PC for a lot of these speed tests, but on a Mac, since this is the Mac that I have, the Thunderbolt on my PC just has a USB 3.2, which I think is 10 gigabits per second. USB 4.0 is 40 gig, like I said before, or Thunderbolt, right? So I'm going to do this on my Mac, plugged into the Thunderbolt port. And the application we'll be using is Amorphous Disk. I will tell you I did run this once already, and after running it, I want to do a test comparison between the CFExpress Type-A, this Airusan CFExpress Type-A, and this particular card that I have, which is the V90 SD card. So I've ran on my Sony A7 IV. I've been using a set of these cards. You can see it's $125 for 128 gigabytes. It's supposed to be read at 300 and write at 250. So I'm going to give you a comparison between this card and the Airusan CF Express. All right, and the application we'll be using, like I said, is Amorphous Disk. And so here it is. I already ran this once. You can see I kind of cleared this out, but I'll run it again, show you the end result of this. This is the Amorphous Disk, and this is the SD card. So I'm going to run both tests and then show you the end result. I'm not going to not Gonna let the video run. Actually, I'll let it run. You can fast forward if you want to see the end result. So I'm gonna hit this one first. Choose and do all. And it's gonna take a bit of time to get through this, but I'll let it run since you want to see as proof, I guess, if you will. Since this is my first CF Express, I don't really have a sense of if the write speed is good or not. I suppose I could do a bit of research to see if anybody ran tests against something like a Sony CFExpress Type-A card um, or one of the other brands, right? So, but at least you'll have data for this particular card, and then you'll have data for this card compared it to the V90 SD card. So this is a bit like watching paint dry. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and bring you back when it's finished, and then start the SD card at that point. Okay, so we're heading into the last test here. I'll let this finish, and then I'll switch over to the SD card. Just so you know, the SD card's plugged into the SD card slot on the Mac itself. And I want to show you what Mac I have while this is running. So about this Mac, this is a MacBook Pro M3 Max, 36 gigabytes of RAM. So pretty hefty machine. Aside from just the disk space, I only have 1 terabytes of disk space. So I use external disk, hard disk, connected to the Thunderbolt. It works fairly well. All right, so it's finished, and you can see the result here. And then what I'm going to do now is switch to the SD card. Right, choose the same thing and hit run. And I'll let it run through the first two so you can see. Let me do this. I'll do a screen capture of this, and so you have it. Open editor. You can see there what it is. We're going to run it again on the SD card. Hit all. I'll let it run through the first two, hit pause on the video, and then come back when it finishes up and close it out. So this is on the V90 SD card. Looks like when I hit about 4 times the speed, roughly. A little bit less than 4 times the speed. Just in sequential read. Usually I just compare the first row, it's relative, right? You can kind of get a sense of relative performance amongst these different storage technologies. Yeah, looks like about 4 times the read speed, and then a little bit more, 4.5 times the write speed, it seems like. Not a significant drop off on the second test here. Pretty consistent across for the SD card. You can see a significant drop on the CF Express there. When this done, so I'm gonna hit pause and then come back when it finishes up. Oh, interesting. I didn't expect that. I kind of expected it to be slower. Although even on the CF Express, you can see it maintained the same speed, increased it slightly in terms of write. All right, hit pause. I'll come back when it finishes up. I didn't expect that. I kind of expected it to be slower. Although even on the CF Express, you can see it maintained the same speed, increased it slightly in terms of write. All right, hit pause. I'll come back when it finishes up. All right, so it's wrapping up now. Last test scenario. Quite a speed drop off between the top two and the bottom two. I suppose for video recording, things like that, photography, it's probably mostly sequential writes, writing sequentially onto the disk. Perhaps maybe if you delete files randomly, I'm going to suspect that if you take a bunch of pictures, delete some random pictures, then it may not be totally sequential. So it may be worthwhile for you to format once in a while to just make sure that you have a continuous block of disk space to write onto, right? So um, should be wrapping up here. So yep, finished. You can see the results. So the top is the the SD card V90. This one is the Airusan CFExpress Type-A card. 151 bucks. Not bad. I don't know if this is good for write speeds on this type of card. If somebody can post in a comment below, let me know. I appreciate it. I'll probably do some research on it as well. But for 151 bucks, I suppose it's a decent price compared to a V90 here from ProGrade. It's already $125 for half the amount of disk space, right? So, and a significant amount slower in speed. Anyways, hope you find this useful. I'm just going to be posting kind of contents of stuff I do every day that's interesting. If you're interested in that type of stuff, I do photography, I do metalworking, woodworking, home repairs, a whole bunch of different things. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching.